Shalom. Call Lord Allah Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world can call God, by Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world can call Jesus Christ. Once again, the true names of Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom also to you brothers, you Akim, that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom to you Akim. Shalom also to Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations you're scattered amongst, which the heathen nations are the nations that you see in this chart. The nations start from 2 on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people, as you see here on this chart, through the man, and if your spirit bear witness with this word is truth, you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child. If this does apply, you are Israelites, though once again you do look like the other nations, the heathen nations, and scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people in this chart. So you once again will have Israelites come looking like the heathen, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse on down. Their spirit bear witness with this word that they are the sons and daughters of Yahweh by Shema Shai, and their lineage goes back to these people through the man, no matter what they come looking like at their fathers. An Israelite, that makes them an Israelite as well. Also to the few Akwafi, few Israelite sisters that do listen, learn, believe, and do respect to your husband, Shalom. To the elect of Israel, Shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you could bond, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. And I wanted to do a real quick topic, on, if you haven't heard, you have truckers, which a majority of them are basically Trump supporters. If not, what they're planning on doing is doing a strike, and I believe it's what 15-20,000. Which I'm gonna just play the video. I'm not gonna play all the video. I'm just gonna play certain points and might skip, get to the key points of it. So I'm gonna play it. All right. Before it was knit by him, before it was poured by her, before it was...
All right, so we're all hearing about this trucker strike, so I'm going to do a little bit of a dive into it and to give you an idea. So let's start with the information that I've gotten that is not a part of this. I won't say it's not true. I'm just saying if you do basic searches for this, as usual, there's a bunch of things that are going to cloud the waters, and this is part of it. So you've got United Natural Foods, Inc., which is a trucking group. It's Local 445. Here's the info on the screen. They supply Stop and Shop and Whole Foods, and they're more out of the New York area. This strike is not what people are talking about. That's just a labor disagreement. They're working it all out. The strike itself that the truckers you're about to hear are going through are on a national level and could be very disruptive. Blessed be our new founding fathers. Okay, so as things are going on now, the truckers are basically planning on 11/11 and then 11/26 to 11/29 to do a shutdown. Now, what that looks like in the scope of it, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure that out. But to say that it is around the trucker community is the understatement of the century. It is all over. They're all talking about it. And you can go onto Facebook, and you can go onto Twitter, and you can go on to YouTube, and you can go onto all the social media platforms and hear them all talking about it, because they're talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And to be honest with you, these people are all very much in the Trump camp. And as many of them state, this has nothing to do with trying to hurt the country. It has nothing to do with trying to hurt people that are just trying to get goods and services. This is everything about a fair election that is based in integrity. None of this would happen if Mr. Biden would have just won, and there wouldn't be all this copious amounts of fraud that these people believe have gone on. And there's plenty of things to go out and plenty of rabbit holes to go down to see it. So to say things are questionable would be, again, the understatement of the century. So everybody in this community is talking about it, and some things you need to understand is that 90% of the industry, from what I've gathered and hearing these truckers talk, are owned by large companies like Knight, and I mean, you've seen them all out. I think there's Swift, there's Taylor, there's a bunch out there that are national trucking firms, okay? Now, doesn't mean that they're politically left or politically right, and it doesn't mean that these truckers could not talk to their bosses and the bosses be fully on board of shutting things down. As many of them state, they're sustained enough where they could do this for a while and really cause problems. And there's other things. I've heard rumors of them going to D.C. and surrounding it, front to tail, all the truckers blocking all the roads so nothing goes in and nothing goes out of D.C. Here's some more truckers talking.
I think that most people do not sort of realize that every tangible object, every piece of food they consume was most likely in a truck before it got to them.
The growth in population in this country and the need for the movement of goods and services is literally...
And that's the thing. See, you people, especially you Americans, you got people that actually think, whenever the shelves, are going empty, that, the food just grow on the shelves. They don't understand that you have these truckers, that drive, around the country or even, state to state, city to city and deliver your goods, man. You see? They don't understand that. You got people that don't really believe that. You got people that literally believe that food just grow on the shelves, man. Just like they say people think, money grow on trees. You see? And you're gonna be in for a rude awakening, because you might look at this as just another protest, or it's just a little strike, but this is going to impact you. She's about to break it down on what's the negative impacts and what this is going to do. You see? So, you know what?
going to overwhelm.
Let me see if I get a scripture right quick. You see, I'm gonna actually start off with this, which I get this very often, but like I say, so what? You see, it's just what time it is. All right, so this is 2nd Ezra 16, and right, and 21. Behold, victuals, which is what, clothing and food, right, shall be so good cheap upon earth. You still could go to the store. You got a 5 for 10, or a 2 for 5. You see, it looks cheap now, and you don't even understand that the dollar is being devalued. All the money printing that they're doing is devaluing your dollar. So you're spending a lot more money on these goods, man. You see, and in a lot of these stores they had to clamp down A lot of grocery stores, they had to actually lower their prices. They were forced to really to lower their prices because they know a lot of people are out of work and a lot of people don't have money. You see? And that what does that mean for them? Nobody's gonna buy anything if they don't have money. You see? So everything looks like it looks good now. It's no stuff is cheap, gas cheap. Okay, that they should think themselves to be in good case. You know, the food. You know, even though you might have a a little area within the store, it's emptied out, but they're gonna stock it back up, right? So you think you're in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, which that's gonna lead to a famine, man, and great confusion, man. Okay, so going to the video, she's gonna show you on what's gonna play out, man. You know,
the infrastructure as we know it today.
One component of the network shuts down and it impacts the rest of the network. It's that fragile. I mean, we're on that close of a sliver of transportation system working as people want it to work.
so look at this. All right, these is just this. It says day one of the impact, right? So it says your grocery stores run out of milk, which we already seen that, right? But imagine when this takes place, how much more worse it's gonna get. Medicine not available at your pharmacies. And you know that people gonna raise hell. You know these people in America, they love their drugs, man. You see, and you can't send letters or packages. See, so if you order something online, that's not gonna go through. And your hospital has no clean linens. All right, so let me keep going.
Particularly as we've moved to a world of Amazon Prime and
Now, your gas station is low on fuel. Sanitation problems begin to mount. Your local stores are out of cash. So I didn't even know that actually happens when they do this type of thing. ATMs run out of money. And does this not sound like a all hell break loose scenario? Now I'm not saying this is going to be it, but it can be. It's the Most High's movie. It's Yahweh Shema Shah's movie at the end of the day. Okay, but just imagine, man. People go to their ATMs. They can't get no money out of there. Okay, that's already happening too. That's actually happened to me a month ago. The banks was closed and they ran out of money in the machines. In order for me to go get the money I needed to withdraw from the machine, I had to go all the way up to the next county. You see? So this is what's happening. Okay, this is what could happen. All right, so let me just play it when we get another scripture.
and deliveries as opposed to making our own personal trips, we don't think about the truck traffic that causes.
Basically, to the general public, we are invisible unless something goes wrong.
We're now investing a smaller percentage of our gross domestic product in transportation infrastructure.
You're out of gas. Grocery store has no fresh produce. Your bank is closed. People hoard due to panic. And that's all that's happening now. The second lockdown is happening now. We can't even say it's coming anymore. It's happening. You see? They locking shit down. Chicago going a stay at home alert, at what, 6 or 10? I forgot the time on Monday, man. You don't think all the other cities gonna follow suit? Of course they are, man. That's the same thing that happened when the first lockdown happened. Chicago went, they did a stay home alert. I think either New York or it was California or Los Angeles was the second one, and then what? Everybody else started following suit, man. Same thing is happening. Okay, but this time it's gonna be worse, man. A lot of these restaurants are already, going to collapse or going to go out of business because of, the revenue loss due to the first lockdown. So this second lockdown is going to put the last nail in the casket for them, man. All right, so let me get a scripture right quick. All right. So we'll see what happens, Second Ezra 6. This is why this is going to be a part of that great confusion, man. How it says many shall be taken in number in Second Ezra the 5th chapter. And this could lead to that, man. You go to the gas station, you see long car lines going out the thing, and then you see, people out their cars panicking, yelling and shit, And another thing is, you have all those shortages, right? No gas, no money in the ATMs. You see, grocery stores are out of certain things. So if they do have certain things, what does that mean? If you have a low, stock on something, and you have the demand that's high for that certain product, what's going to happen? Prices are going to go up on it because it's basically rare, man. You see, it's scarce. You see, it's scarce, but it's a high demand. So they're going to raise the prices up for that, man. You see? So you see how everything is everything interconnects, man. You see? All right. This is let me see. I started second Ezra 6:18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. And our affliction is fulfilled, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, your captivity is up. You see? This is why all these things is happening, because the Lord's getting ready to deliver his people, starting with the elect and the believers, all Israelites, okay, out of this captivity. And as he's going to do that, he's going to destroy the heathen, man. The main heathen nation ruling, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. And when the world that began to vanish away shall be finished, then I will show these tokens, which is a sign, right? The book shall be opened before the firmament. And that's what's happening, okay? We bringing out what's fitting to play out, and it's playing out right now in your face. And they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up, man. You know, you got a lot of women that's, probably, pregnant now, and you got all these things happening. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Well, it's these stores at first before the virus hit, the so-called coronavirus, right? All these stores was packed, man. People was in these stores shopping, doing their regular thing, you see. But then the whole shutdown happened, and people lost their jobs, so people ain't had no revenue to spend. And whatever they did have left to spend, that went towards bills or whatever food they could scrap up. So what happened? You go in downtown districts in these cities, and what is it? It's dead, man. You see? Certain cities where you have tourism, it's dead. Nobody at the malls, nowhere, man. And if they are at the malls, they're not buying nothing. Okay? So you starting to see that with these stores, and now you want to see it in the actual, your food restaurants, man. Mickey D's, the grocery stores, whatever, man. Wherever you eat. It's going to say the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, man. So pretty soon, there ain't going to be nothing in these storehouses, man. Ain't going to be nothing in these grocery stores. Ain't going to be no more such thing as fast food. Ain't going to be nothing, man. You see? That's what's going to end up happening. And like I say, we'll see how, this scenario. If you want to watch the rest of the video, here it is, called Purple Now, the channel. But you seeing how it all come together, man. And if this goes, haywire like it's looking like, if it causes a supply chain disaster, okay, this could lead to this. What I just read to you. Let me read it again. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty. It's not just gonna be the stores. It's gonna be the gas stations. It's at the banks. It's gonna be everything, man. You see, these truckers are like they say, the backbone of this country, man, of the world, really, because they bring the goods to your store. They ship whatever you buy online to you. And if that's done away with, that's taken out the picture, you through. You see? And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, they shall suddenly be afraid. And that's what you would do. When you will blow, in the ancient world, you will blow the trumpet, when the enemy is preparing to make a siege against you. And Esau, Edom, okay, starting with these elites, okay, they are preparing to come down on you people. You see, you average everyday Americans, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. And one strategy that they're using is what? Cutting off the food supply, which is really Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, okay, that's doing all this. He's putting it in the spirit of the elites to do this, to basically, put all these things into play, man. This crackdown on you people, right? It says, at that time shall friends fight one another against another. So you're going to have friends, okay, fight one another. like enemies, and the earth shall stand fair with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And why is friends gonna fight one another? Because the second Ezra, they let me get it. I get this a lot, but like I said, it's what time it is. All right, we're seeing these things in real life now. You know, this second Ezra 15 and 19. And it says a man shall have, actually 18, for because their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. Okay, food. Okay, money. Okay, it's already started with the money. But when the money's worthless, okay, and in these stores they can't stock anything because these truckers, they stop bringing in what they bring in. Okay, it's gonna cause people to go haywire, man, and for great tribulation. All right, so that's why friends are gonna fight one another, because there ain't gonna be no food out here, man. Okay, people are the drugs. She said also. You saw the medical. The pharmacies where people get their dope. That's why I call it. Really, it's dope. It's not really drugs to help you. It's just to keep you. It's really witchcraft. It's just to keep your mind docile and detached from what's going on. You see, a lot of basically most of you Americans, some American you come across are addicted to some drug, man. You see, or on some drug. Imagine when that's cut off, and they gotta really deal, okay, with reality, man. You see, they gotta really see things for what it is, man. They're gonna lose it, man. Okay, like I said, look up Twisted Metal. The game Twisted Metal. That's what it's gonna be like. Then look up the game Division, man. The Division and the Division 2. All right, that's what's gonna come, man. The Division 2 and 1. You had gangs. You see, you had all types of gangs, and they would try to take what you had, man. You know, The Road, movies like The Road. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna come to pass, man. All right, because the scriptures say in Lamentations, right? Better right? Lamentations 4 and 9, they that be slain with the sword, which is what today's modern sword is, the gun, an actual sword, whatever weapon these people are gonna use in these times, man. You got Esau, he's the sword, are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for want of the fruits of the field, man. You see? The hands of the pitiful women have signed their own children, which if you go on that word side, it means to boil, man, to cook. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people, man. So that's what's gonna be happening as well, man. A lot of these women out here, you see, they're gonna eat their kids, man. And it's right there in the scriptures. You see? They're gonna eat their kids. That's how bad it's gonna get. Okay? It's gonna be like that time in the Second Kings, you see, where you had, let me get that if I can find it. In Samaria. All right. Oh, it was 2 Kings 6. This because it was a famine. This was the northern kingdom. It was a famine. You see in the land, and they were already having to deal with being besieged by the Assyrians. All right, so let me just get it. This 2 Kings 6 and 24. It says, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. Right? And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the forepart of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So you had the meat out of a donkey's head. Okay, that was a very highly sought, asset or product. Okay, during this famine, man, it's gonna be the same thing. You see, in this economic collapse, man. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of things that you look at as insignificant now. That's gonna be highly sought after, in the times to come, man. It's the same thing with this. All right, and it says dove's dung. If you know what dung is what? It's waste. You see, it's human and animal waste, man. You see, shit. All right, that's what it is, and they were buying that to eat that. That's how bad the famine in the land was. You see, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? Because what does it say in Amos 3 and 6? Okay, 3 and 6, I believe, or 7, the 7th verse. You see? It says, so shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people be not afraid? Shall evil be done in the city and the Lord have not done it? The Lord brought this famine, okay, upon our people in this time because they were being wicked, man. He even sent the Syrians, you see, to come in there, man. Come after them, man. You see? And he's finna do he's doing the same thing right now. And you still got people that don't know what the hell's going on, man. People still in La La Land right now. Everything's a joke. Alright? And it says, and he told her, if the Lord is doing this, what can I do? I don't got power to do anything. I can't do nothing for you. Alright? And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So let me keep going. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her, on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes. Okay, that's the point. All right. So they were going to have a day that I'm going to eat. All right, we're going to eat your son this day, and you're going to eat my son. So the woman went with it. The one woman went with it, and her son got eaten. And the other woman took her kid and went on, man. She was like, the hell with that. You ain't eating my child. But she ate the woman's child. Okay? That's what's going to happen these times, man. Okay? Because iniquity shall, like it says in Matthew 24 chapter, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. You see? And this system already like that, man. You know? And this is what's coming to the wicked, man. Alright? If you are of the elect, if you have the Lord's elect, okay, if the Lord got you covered, you're going to be straight in these times to come. Alright? So this is